Oh, always fake news, huh?
The 53-year-old Ramon Preciado wanted to call the news fake, but the charges against him and his 19-year-old son, Christopher, are real. Christopher Preciado is charged with capital murder. His father faces a charge related to moving the bodies. Police say Savannah Soto, who is pregnant, and Matthew Guerra both were gunned down the night of December 21st during a drug deal. Their bodies were found days later inside a car parked at a Northwest Side apartment complex.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rachel from Ohio.
Rachel from Ohio. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Yeah, I've been following this case since the beginning, and I believe it. Like everyone's saying, it was a drug deal, either that or a drug deal slash a setup. I believe they found the right guy from the video footage and everything showing. You were saying about Big Pun getting out of the truck and passing her right to his son and whatnot, and I was just shocked this morning to see that they actually found the killers, because I was actually, like I said, I've been following it from the beginning, and I've been waiting to see if they found any clues as far as who was the actual people that did the killing or that was associated with it.
Yeah, I think that I mean, obviously, I'm very interested to see what else they uncover, because obviously this isn't over yet. I'm definitely happy that they got they got their guys, or at least two of the guys. But what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the third person?
Yes, I agree with you on the third person. I believe there's maybe a third person from what we've been seeing on the video footage. And it, like someone said, I think someone said, or you said, or someone, something about a mom or a family member, or it could even be an aunt or a woman cousin or something, for as we know. But I believe, like everyone else is saying there, I believe there's a third person from what we've seen in the footage. Yeah,
There's definitely a third person. It just can't be some weird glitch on the camera. But then the other thing is who could that be? Like, who could that be, right? And are they involved in the arrests of these two? You see what I'm saying? Did they snitch, and that's what helped them break it all the way down, right? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm not meaning to cut you off. Sorry.
You're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I believe it's a matter of time that the third person is going to get and find out. And like you said, they're going to snitch eventually. And like someone was saying in your chat, said something about them being have to be put in protective custody when they do get locked up, which they ain't going to survive prison unless they do get put in protective custody because of this crime.
Yeah. Yeah, I am quite curious about everything. It's a very interesting situation, and again, they gave us a little bit breadcrumbs to how and what they, how their investigation led them to where they are right now. But at the same time, I'm curious about what else is going on. But thank you so much for the phone call. I really do appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, Pascal. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, come on. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Pascal, it's me again, Margie.
Hey, Margie, what's up?
So, hi.
What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Questions and concerns.
Let's go.
So,
is the tinfoil hat on?
In my heart.
Wait, hold on. Margie, is the tinfoil hat on today, or is it off?
Dude, it's on,
okay.
And it's like super tight, so you have to help me loosen this up.
Okay, come on. I'm here.
Let's get to it. So, you're saying that there definitely is a third person in that vehicle. So my scenario that's playing in my mind is that he gets a call from his dad. They're maybe at the Walmart shopping, him and his little girl, his daughter or something. And then his father comes onto the scene and sees like, what the? And then he's like, oh, well, now you got to clean this up and do this. Like he got his father sort of involved.
True.
That's one scenario.
Okay.
That's just like scrolling through my mind. That's the only possibility why he wouldn't give up the little girl that's in the car. Or it could be his wife, or it could be an auntie. But it's somebody that absolutely didn't see what was going on or didn't want to see, and he closed the door immediately. I don't know.
Right.
That's just something that's going through my mind. Like they won't bring in the third person because maybe it is a child. and really had no idea of what was going on in that car.
You know, you are not wrong. It could very well be a child. So that's a good thing to put in consideration for sure.
Yeah. No, another last thing, thugs. These two individuals don't look like thugs. If that's what thugs look like, oh my God, we're in trouble. That looks like my neighbor.
I mean,
they look like an average.
I will say this. I mean, you know, we all have seen some crazy things, and thugs and criminals and these evildoers that are out here come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and shades. So the fact that this is what it is here is still, I mean, we were expecting a big guy, right? We were expecting a guy with a few.
A mean guy.
Right.
Mean guy. Not this punk kid.
Yeah, I mean.
So my scenario.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
My scenario is that this kid probably, you know, he buys merch from this other kid, from Matthew. And Matthew's like, you know, this little punk ass kid, let me just give him, instead of marijuana, let me just give him some oregano. He probably wouldn't know the difference. So he's putting out that garbage out there, and now it's coming back to him. So he does this retaliatory, you know, retaliation.
Yeah.
And puts, you know, kills him on the spot. But my concern is, how did he overpower two people? How?
Well, never underestimate the power of brandishing a firearm. Okay. Let's not forget that. Because I mean, remember, I don't think that I really don't think that Savannah is out here running around with a pew-pew in her purse. So if he was able to catch Matthew by surprise, right? If it was like, oh yeah, you know, because it takes 2 seconds to pull something out and pull the trigger, right? If they were in the car and, you know, he opened the window to kind of just do a quick exchange of merchandise and cash, and he's like, yeah, I got the money right here. Pow! That's it. Takes 2 seconds to do that. And then she could be scared out of her wits. And he's like, you know, don't say nothing. You sit right there. You know what I mean? You never know, right? So it takes 2 seconds. You know, this isn't like a, you know, again, that's one thing, the pro and con of a pew-pew, right? One, it takes 2 seconds to hurt somebody really quick, right? But when you run out of bullets, it turns into a paperweight, right? A knife can be really dangerous if you're skilled with it, right? But if you're not skilled with it, you can make a mistake. You can maybe, you know, not cut the right area that you're aiming for, and that person can live and fight you off. Once that thing is in their possession or away, then you ain't got nothing. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. You know, it takes 2 seconds to go, oh yeah, it's $50. Yeah, I got that 50 right here. Bow! And then that's it. That's it. You know?
Wow.
So it's just something to think about, you know? So we'll see what happens though. Clearly no, really quick. Clearly, no problem. I mean, again, I could be completely wrong. These are just theories, but I will say this though too. I mean, you know, we've seen on countless occasions and countless cases now how many parents are willing to risk it all to save their own kid's butt, right? You know, they instantly think like, my kid would never do something like this, and they go into this weird, strange world of denial, right? And I think that's what I mean. You got to be a little nutty to be willing to do what these parents are doing. Okay. But they're trying to risk it all so that they can have their legacy move on, like live on in these streets. It's crazy, but sad.
Yeah, which makes sense why he would say what he said in that press conference, right? When he's doing that perp walk, that he said, y'all don't know the whole story. Is that what the father said?
Say that again. I'm so sorry. Say that one more time.
So the 19-year-old's parents, the two people that are accused of this, he said in the press conference, you don't know the whole story.
Yes.
And that kind of aligns with what you're saying. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of things. Whatever his son may have told him, he may believe. But that still doesn't justify what he involved himself in, right? He should have just turned. He should have absolutely. He should have just turned in his son, period. But there's the other part too. You know, his son could be fabricating some BS, or there could have been some sort of beef between them two, both Matthew and him, and then, you know, everything went chaotic. And I guess, again, I think that she became a casualty, in, you know, wrong place at the wrong time. If she didn't ride with him, she'd probably still be alive, maybe, because maybe he thought that she knows my face, she knows exactly who I am, and if she wasn't here, she wouldn't be able to pinpoint the person. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but that's just a theory.
Yes.
You can.
So if he pleaded guilty, if they both plead guilty, there's going to be no trial. Will we ever really know what happens, like the true story?
I'm hoping that we do. I really think that one of them is going to start talking. Okay. I really think that one of them is going to start talking. And I think it's going to be the dad. I'm going to be real.
Going to pop off.
You know what I mean? But I appreciate you calling. Okay. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you again. Love you. Love your show.
Thank you so much. We love you back. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi.
What
Tyler.
up, Tyler? How you doing, man? What's on your mind, man?
Good.
Speak on it.
Yeah. So, I guess I should say, I think there's a. Oh, shoot. Well, let me just say, I hope 2024 is the year of accountability.
According to Cat Williams, 2024 is where a lot of truth is going to come out, allegedly, from what he's saying. So I am looking forward to that as well. You know,
and you know, he's the type to just expose everybody. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think both. Well, I would think both of them need to face the music, find some catch those charges. In general, just
Damn right. They're gonna get some serious. Clearly, the son is gonna get some serious charges. Ramon, he's gonna get some charges too, but he did not have his hand in the unaliving, so his charges won't be they'll still be intense, but they won't be as intense as Christopher. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in the next week or so when they get a chance to talk to lawyers and you know, if it's a full on I'm just going to confess and say everything, put everything out on the table so that I can get a lesser sentence. You'll see. It's going to be the dad that's going to say a lot. Watch. He's going to say some stuff for real.
You know, open up that mouth and just spew everything.
Oh, he's going to be spewing like crazy. Watch. He's going to be putting cases on everybody except himself because he's going to want to get the hell out as quickly as possible, you know? So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he's the type to do that sort of thing anyway.
Oh yeah.
Obviously I don't know them personally, but
no doubt.
But I do think, I don't know, there are people that just want to have everyone take the fall or everyone around them take the fall for what they did.
Oh yeah.
And I think he's the type of person to do that. I just think that can only lead to trouble down the road for you if you continue to.
Oh yeah. Dad got
all that stuff, and I see that in every profession. I see that. Here I see it in politics. I see it in the entertainment industry. I see it everywhere.
Right. I will say this. Dad definitely, with all that he said, you know, saying fake news and everything. I mean, that he clearly he's got a big mouth, you know, and he's not the type that looks like that could survive any minutes, not even seconds behind jail, you know, behind bars. So we will definitely see what's going on here, man. But Tyler.
Well, and let me just say.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Before I go, I don't know. I just think what's happening to them is or what's happening with them, what they did was so awful that honestly, I don't really care what happens to them. I just want to see them get their comeuppance.
Oh,
yeah. I know I don't usually, I know we were just talking about like empathy and having grace like a day ago.
Right.
But there's some people that I just don't give that to if they prove them to be it.
And the thing is I don't have any, but I don't have any grace for evildoers like this. And there should never be any grace for those kinds of people for what they did. And I get there's criminality out here, criminal acts of various kinds, everything from the small minor ones to the big crazy stuff like we're covering right here. And they all should be judged, within the confines of the act that was made. But most definitely, there should be no compassion or care for these two. They should get the book thrown at them and get the most maximum penalty possible, in my personal opinion. But Tyler, thank you so much for calling in, my brother. I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Frankie, and I'm calling from Idaho.
Frankie, thank you so much for calling from Idaho. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to run down just a bunch of things for you really quick. So just hear me out first, and then I'm going to try to remember all of them. I ran drugs for a long time, like 13 years. I did go to prison. I've been sober for 4 years, but what I can tell you about that life, it's everybody and anybody, as far as, you can be a victim and not be innocent, right? So I can't tell you how many times you show up to a house and you just meet people. They all just run through, and pick up what they need. And I can't tell you how many pregnant people I saw, mainly because they have been addicted or been running the game for so long and using, whatever you want to call it, that they either don't want to lose the baby because like your withdrawals and stuff. I mean, this doesn't make it right. Let me just tell you, it can cause you to miscarry. So let's say you really want your baby and you think that you're going to, as soon as your baby's born, it's going to make you quit because your baby's worth it, but you don't want to lose your baby, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing. I'm not saying, she definitely knew about the lifestyle. She was living it. She was past her due date running around. She didn't not know. However, her reason for being involved in it may be that they were using together. I know so many couples that was happening with. I also feel like, there's parents, there were so many people that bought from us, and a guy specifically, his dad was super, super heavy set, like this guy. He actually fell off a building or something. He was a veteran.
Oh, okay.
And so he was medically disabled or whatever, but he was an addict because he had been on pills and stuff, but then it became an addiction and he couldn't get enough, after his prescriptions. So we would show up there. The mom was a banker and for inside of our local grocery store. And you'd show up and they're buying pills from you. They're buying heroin. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can say
it's okay. And whatnot.
They're buying those, they're buying those things from you, and they're the adults, so, and the kids were, but it's not uncommon that his dad, that wouldn't be too far of a stretch that they're both using. I don't think that they're involved in any organization, only because there's tons of people who use and commit crimes that are not attached to anything. When there was a house, what they call working girls, I saw, this is really terrible. This is terrible to say, but there's, working girls that got pregnant and don't have means to terminate the pregnancy. This was specifically only one time I saw this, but there was a girl that came and for a 20 bag of Crystal, we'll call her. She
Gotcha.
left her newborn baby at the house and she left it with them. And I can't say I know what was going to happen. I mean, you're in shock and this was right to the point where like I was not living a life that I even wanted to like be involved in anymore. But again, you're addicted, and selling is how you support your addiction. But thankfully prison saved my life. But
Right.
Seeing someone like pop a trunk on somebody's younger sister because that person owes them 20 or 40 bucks, and then they keep her in the house until those people get everything that they want back and more.
Yeah.
It's so crazy the amount of things that go on in that world that normal, functioning, healthy people cannot even begin to fathom.
Yeah.
So all that to say, I feel like if this, I think this might have happened at the house. Like, let's say they pulled the car into the garage, they went into the house. Let's say that the son or the father, that they're both in there buying, right? One of them or both of them take care of Matthew, right, in the head.
Right.
And then it wouldn't be uncommon, let's say that Savannah is waiting in the car, and then one of them comes out and says, hey, he wants you to run in, but as soon as she rolls down her window, it happens to her, In some way, they had those two separated enough or in fear enough that they didn't make any attempt to run or, pull their piece out, because it's like I said, you're in shock when if they saw that happen. She saw that happen to Matthew. She's pregnant with a baby. I mean, you freeze, even if you don't know what to do.
Right.
But I do believe that they're both involved, whether or not they say that the dad just helped move them, which is crazy that he has bond. Like, I'm not shocked because they have to give you bond and they can just make it really high. But at this point, I think if he posted bail, it's more of a death sentence for him than staying in jail. So I don't think he'll do that. But as far as the third person in the car, I think it was possibly the older brother, the Ramon the third, only because, like, let's say little brother got himself into this and they're at your parents' house or whatever, your dad needs to help and you need to help too, whether or not he wanted to be super involved. If he just rode and it's like, we're going to help our baby brother,
Gotcha.
Which totally reminds me of the laundries.
Right.
But again, looking at that situation, you would never think that would happen either. You would never think that those parents would not only know about it, help clean the van, and then be okay with their son going and doing what he did.
Yeah, no,
and like, it's just, there's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely some crazy stuff. So let me just say this really quick, because you did say a lot here, so I'm going to try to cover as much as. No, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying you just kind of said everything all at once. So let me just say this really quick. One, I feel that if there was any semblance of, just going back to what you said in the very beginning, if there was any semblance of Savannah having any type of addiction at all whatsoever, I feel like there would have been conversation about that and talks about that for the longest time. So I don't know if that theory really sticks, because I feel like people out here in social media, even the people that have been talking ill on their name, they would have that in their back pocket. Like, oh, she's addicted and she's on these things and she's putting, subjecting that child to all her unborn baby to all these certain things. Now, when it comes to the possible moving weight, there's a possibility that she was involved, right? That she was moving weight too and all that stuff. I mean, clearly she has a boyfriend that is about that life. There are plenty of photos and videos and stuff like that showing her standing right next to him, depicting that kind of fast gang street lifestyle, right? So she obviously is a I wouldn't say is thumbs up, but she's clearly putting it on her social medias, right? So that is another thing. So anything's possible on that part. Now, when it comes over to the two, okay, the two that have been arrested, you never know. The son could be an addict. They both could be addicts.
For sure.
Anything's possible on that end, for sure. And I feel that on that side of the story, I lean towards that. Maybe that is a possibility. But when they get put in, I'm sure there's going to be all types of tests run on them, etc. To
Their phones,
not only just not just their phones, they could be doing drug tests, etc. There's so many things that could be happening here that we don't know yet. But yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that dad got hooked and son got him hooked. I don't know, right? Like I said, the possibilities.
I mean, the dad could have been in the game
infinite.
for a long time because he had that assault with a deadly weapon. I mean, it was years ago, but
years
you know, there's so many people that are professionals. I mean, I sold to a paramedic. She literally pulled in the parking lot in her ambulance, hopped out. She had to buy a bag of the brown stuff, and hopped right back in, turned on her lights, and left. Like, it is absolutely insane that people that you will see that run through there that are functioning addicts too. You know, like they might just do a little bit of something every morning to get going.
Absolutely.
And then
and
so not that that's. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and your theory is not wrong. Your theory is not like your theories are not unwarranted, right? It's totally understandable to be asking those pressing questions. What could be, what really went down here? What's really the story here? Is there a story of addiction within this particular 2 individuals or possible 3 individuals? What's really the story going on here? Could it be that the son did this out of desperation because he just wanted as much as he could have for himself, not to sell, but for him to consume, or for his family to consume? God only knows. But I think, like I said, the investigation will lay out answer all those questions that we have. Even the ones that may not be popular opinion here. But I got to hop off here. But I thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate your 2 cents on this. All right.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Popular opinion.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And can you mute the show in the background? That'd be greatly appreciated.
I just did.
Great.
And this is Crayons. I'm calling from Illinois.
What's up, Crayons? How you doing? Thank you so much for the for the Cash App. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I have a lot to say today. I have a list.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So my first addressing the chat, saying that the dad can't be an addict, can't be this, can't be that. The son can't be this, can't be that because they're fat. Well, in my experience, fat people can be addicts, even of uppers. Just get that out of the way.
Can I just say something too? Chris Farley.
Of course.
Chris Farley. I'm done.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my old mechanic. Anyway.
You'd be surprised, y'all.
About the press conference. I heard something a long time ago from a police detective regarding press conferences. And he said, more important than what they tell us is what they're silent about to the suspects.
Ooh.
So a couple of things about that. One, what they're saying, the reason of this is because of a deal. But what they didn't say, what they didn't address was the brother. They did not say this has nothing to do with Ethan, right? Whereas they did say the other people who you've accused of this are not involved, right? Because they want people to leave those people alone. They did not say this doesn't have anything to do with Ethan. I just want to point that out that they did not mention that.
Okay.
Another thing they didn't mention was the existence of this third suspect. And I think that if there is a third suspect, they won't even acknowledge the existence of it until they have enough to grab them and know where they are, for 2 reasons. One, they don't want him to go across the border because he knows they're looking for him.
Right.
And 2, they don't want the family to go get him first. So even if there is a third suspect, they're going to say, no, there's no third suspect because they want them to be comfortable.
Facts. I feel you on that 100%.
Right. And also regarding the third suspect, the towel.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Now, right. So this towel, right? I have a theory just based on watching that video several times. You know, sometimes there's freeways up above parking lots and stuff like that. And it was a really quick flash and the window was up. So it is my theory that it is possibly just a reflection of a headlight from a freeway up above or in another place, like a road that's up above, and you know what I mean, like the glint of a light off a window.
Okay,
that's my theory on that. I think that was all I had. Oh, I think it's real shitty that the older dad is letting the younger son take the heat.
Well, I will say this though. If he didn't have his hands in the unaliving part, would you take everything for your son? Would you take everything for your son that just did something in cold blood? I'm just curious. Like, would you do that?
I would either, honestly,
your son did this.
I would either not be involved. Like, bro, you effed up. This is on you. I'll hire you a lawyer.
Right.
Or if I'm going to protect my kid, I'm going all the way. I'm not going to half-ass protect my kid.
I see what you're saying. Interesting. I mean, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. I mean, clearly there's a right or wrong.
Right,
I mean, what am I saying? But you know.
But as a parent, like, oh shit, my kid's gonna go to jail forever. Not forget that. Like he hasn't lived his life yet. I'm already old. Like I'm gonna protect my kid, and you know we're both involved. I should take the harsher sentence than him.
Word.
Not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just as a parent, that's kind of dirty.
But I will say this. You never know. He might have been scared to say something because God forbid if he was to say something and they find out that he's lying. Wouldn't that get him more in trouble than he really wants to be in? I mean, you never know. You know, he might have been like, yes, it was me. It was all me. I did it. It's my fault, you know?
They both may have said nothing yet, right? And the cops are just throwing charges to see who says what at this point.
Well, they said that they were cooperative or they were cooperating with police when they first detained them. Now, that can mean several different things. That can mean that they've been talking, somebody's been yapping, somebody's been squawking out here, or they just said they were detained peacefully. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like there was some sort of, like Christy Marie just said, I think that there really was some sort of confession for them to solidify this even more, to say, hey, these guys are about to get charged. He's going to get charged with this. This guy's going to get charged with that. Now, if you never know, we don't know what happened when they first got arrested. So let's talk about that really quick. And let me put their muggly ass faces on the screen again. Think about this for a second. What if the dad did take it? What if dad said, I did it. And then son went in there and said, I did it. And then they went back to him and said, hey, your son is talking. Your son just said he's the one who pulled the trigger. And he says, fine, yes, okay. He pulled the trigger. I didn't have anything to do with it, but it doesn't seem like the dad is that kind of dad. He seems like the kind of dad who's going to start squawking. He already started squawking when he walked out, and he's like, you guys got all the perspective wrong. You don't know nothing. So what say you?
Right. He came out there saying fake news.
Fake news. Fake news. That's what he's saying. Fake news. Fake news as he's going in. And you could hear it in his voice. Holding down for fake news. As he got in the car, you saw, if you rewatch that video, you could see that it's almost like we saw in real time the realization that he's effed. Okay. Right then, when he got into the cruiser, it hit him hard, and he's like, you don't know nothing, man. You can hear it in his voice. He's like, I'm like, for a fact, this man talking. He talking, y'all. He yapping. Now, did he go? I did it. It's all me. Nah, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to save his own son beyond a certain point. Does that make sense?
The way he was talking out in that garage does make me think that he was talking in the interview room, because he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who can physically keep his mouth closed.
Yep. I'm just
I
saying.
thank you for all your time, Pascal. Thanks for letting me.
Crayons,
get
I
it off my
appreciate it.
chest.
Thank you. And somebody said he took a deep breath, and he literally, you can see it. It's like, you can
Yeah.
see he's about to start crying. He's done. He's done. He's gonna say everything. He's gonna be like, I know where everything is. I know where the bodies are buried. You see what I'm saying? He's gonna do whatever he can.
Remember, though, we do have to remember that initial charges don't really mean a whole lot, because I mean they arrested Al Capone on taxes, right? Like,
Facts.
so whatever they do to get them in the jail doesn't necessarily reflect what's going to happen or be presented at trial. They just got to get something to get them penned up so they can't dip out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they really pin on them. You know, more information is going to come out. Trust and believe. Just give it a little bit more time and trust. We're going to see more truth here. Whether it is everything from a love triangle all the way down to a deal gone bad. We're going to get it all soon.
For Ethan.
Yes. Okay. But Crayons, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it, sweetheart.
Have a great day. Aloha.
Talk to you soon. Bye. Yeah. And that's the end of Speak On It, guys, just so you guys know. Damn it. I'll take this last phone call. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going, man? This is Shadow Ghost. I sent you a super chat earlier.
What up, bro? What's up, man? Thank you so much for the support.
Hey, man.
What's on your mind, man? Speak on it, Shadow.
First, I do want to say, man, I really do appreciate your show. I'm a recent subscriber, man. You really do help me get through the day. And just a couple of things I want to point out.
Shoot.
You know, I noticed, like, with other cases, the police are usually, they don't want to answer questions. If you notice, like, as soon as they walked this guy out, I mean, he was like, I'm ready to take questions, you know?
Word.
And when he was talking to the reporters, I remember him saying that it was Savannah's cell phone, I think they had, and then he said that they had the assistance of the Secret Service and stuff like that. And I found that interesting because he said it was after that is when they started doing surveillance on them to find out if that was their vehicle, and then obviously find out, you know, who owns the vehicle, who lives there, and whatnot. But so I am with people when they say that they think something else. Like, I'm not saying that there's a third suspect or not. I mean, I'm not talking about the video or whatever. I'm just talking about, like, I'm thinking if there is, maybe they are holding off on that, but right. I think they know obviously a lot more than what they're telling us. But as far as the father goes, I mean, look, man, I'm a father. My son is 10. I would like to think that if he did something like that, especially with a young female that's pregnant. I'm not saying that a man's life isn't worth less. I'm just saying, but I mean, just the magnitude of that. I mean, I just feel like I'm just disgusted with that. I mean, I would like to think that first off that you would just either just not assist with anything like that, but then again, people will do things for their kids, and I mean, I've never been in that situation. But the one thing I do want to say is that you see how a lot of people, and it's another reason why I like watching your show. I was watching your show the other day when they were doing the whole spirit box things, and all these people are just going at all these other people with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. And it's like that is so dangerous, bro. That is so dangerous for you to just attack people online just because they have the same shape or spirit box said something. I mean, it baffles me, the stuff that I see in the true crime community. But I'm just happy that they got justice, and I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate your show, man. I'm gonna stay rocking with you, and
thank you.
And I hope you have a blessed day, man.
Thank you. You too, man. Hey, real quick, I want to say, it's disgusting. It blows my mind about all this as well. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter, man or woman. You know, lives should not be erased from this planet. Period. Point blank. But it is also just extremely heart-wrenching when you hear a mother to be also losing her child, and she's, you know, you're raising that child, you're trying to cultivate, you know, that seed into the amazing human being that you hope it will become, and that kid didn't even get a chance. So that is the thing, I agree with you, is the most disheartening and heartbreaking part of this whole thing. But I do also want to say, Shadow, congratulations on your 10-year-old son, because I know how hard it is to raise children out here. Keep cultivating that seed, keep cultivating that legacy, my brother. So I appreciate you calling
thank you,
in.
man. I really do appreciate it. Oh, and one last thing, I do agree. I do agree with you as far as like your take on the father. Well, everybody has that take on the father. I mean, that the son had like this stone cold look, like he really did not even care. But in the father,
it's still there.
He didn't even like get 10 seconds into the car. I mean, he's like, you know, fake news and this and that. I can almost, you know, and I noticed that when the I don't know who, what the cop, if that was like the sergeant or whatever, whoever did that interview.
Yeah.
I think he made it clear that the father was very cooperative, or did he say both of them? But I mean, I would like to think from looking at it that it's the father, bro.
No, the father.
You know what I mean?
Man, doesn't the father look like he got wobbly sea legs? This mother lover got wobbly sea legs. Come on, man.
Yeah,
all right, he's sitting there like holding it down.
Kind of, he looks like the type of person, and this is what I'm saying. It's like, he's not built for prison, but yet he was able to, like, as soon as his son, or however, and we'll find out, obviously, hopefully we'll find out they don't just plead guilty and just stay shut. I would like to think that the father's going to keep talking. And obviously with the phone, I think they know a lot more than what they're telling us. But I mean, your son comes to you, let's just say, so they're saying that the son did unaliving or whatever. And you're just going to be like, you see that it's a young kid and a young female that was pregnant, and you just like, all right, yeah, you know, let me help you get rid of this. And it's just, that just baffles me. Now, I know people are going to say, whoa, you've never been in that situation. Would you do that for your son? I mean, I would like to think if I'm in that situation, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because it's just like that. First of all, I would raise my son better. My son should know not to be, you know, unaliving people. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
So I don't know. I mean, but it is what it is, man. But I really do appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother. And I do agree. You know, there's going to be a level of you raising your child, being a parent, to all of us out here that are watching and listening. We all have to realize that we got to teach them the value of life and how precious it is. And if they go and they do something like this, I'm sorry. It's like, wait, didn't I raise you right? Didn't I teach you better?
Amen.
So how the hell are you doing this now? And I'm going to do what for you? Nah, the least I can do is talk to my son, talk to my child, talk to my daughter, whatever, to make them, if they did some unthinkable crime like this, is to do the right thing. Turn yourself in. Let's not cover our tracks. Let's not try to do all this extra stuff, moving bodies and whatnot. Fess up, step up to the plate, and take what is going to come to you, whether you wait a year later or a day later. Do the right thing. That's what we should be doing as parents, not trying to cover their asses up. You see what I'm saying? Because it makes it even worse. Now you're involved, and it destroys the entire legacy of the Preciado family name. That's what's so sad about it.
And you know he's not built for prison, so they're gonna get what they're gonna get.
Oh yeah, no, he ain't. Both of them ain't built. Okay, they both ain't built for this. Okay, they're gonna have a very saucy experience behind bars. And hey, I'm here for it. Shadow, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it, my brother. Talk to you soon.
You too, man.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Hey, yeah. Good combos today. That is it for now, unfortunately, guys. I do appreciate it. That's the end of the speak on it. But again, you know, we have a responsibility as parents too, y'all, as adults, because you know what? Beyond us bringing children into the world, we are also role models to the young ones too. Just because you don't pop kids out and have your own offspring, your own, you know, seeds out here, does not mean that you cannot lead by example. Because I'm telling you, these young ones are still watching every single last one of us. Oh, Uncle Jack did that, so it's okay for me to do that, right? No, it's not. Type of thing. It's a village. Remember, it takes a village. I know it's a corny saying, but it's true. It takes a village, and we all need to be acting accordingly. We got to realize that other kids, sometimes they don't have the good parents at home. Some of y'all parents need a license, need to go through a course to get a license to actually parent. Ain't that some messed up stuff, right? So these kids look out towards the ones that they look up to, and a lot of them are adults or older, right? Older individuals. We need to be acting as such. We need to be doing right out here. This type of situation with these two should never have happened. And I'm not sitting here saying that parents didn't raise them right or anything of that sort, but it does make you wonder, did they raise this man right? I know that's a strong and bold thing to ask, but why would he have a piece in his hand to do what he did to those three individuals? And then why would a father, Big Pun, Teletubby, whatever you want to call him, why would Ramon put everything aside to try to help cover his son's tracks instead of actually doing the right thing and saying, hey, I'm going to get you a lawyer and you're going to turn yourself in, period. That's what the right thing to do. Period.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.